Hello, good day to you. I am Dr. Liyanagama. I am attached to a coronary care unit in a private hospital in Colombo, Sri Lanka. Today I would like to bring you to educate you how to lose your weight without fasting. So, the main theory that you should understand is that your intake from food, what you are gaining from food, should be lesser than your waste of energy by doing your day-to-day work or exercises. If the intake is less than the expenses, then you will lose your weight. So, how you can, first of all, you will see how you can limit your intake rather than the wasting of energy. How you can limit your intake from the food. First thing is the timing that you eat, because after eating, it will take somewhere around 4 hours for it to get digested and absorbed into the bloodstream. So, after eating, after 4 hours, what you are doing is matter for it to get deposited or utilize your energy. Because after eating, after 4 hours of eating, if you are up and about, then the glucose get absorbed into the bloodstream, will be utilized, used for energy, so that there nothing will be deposited. So whatever getting absorbed are being used for energy. So supposing if you eat at 9 at night and if you sleep at 10 p.m., then by the time after 4 hours, once it gets absorbed into your bloodstream, it will be 1 a.m. So by 1 a.m. if you are sleeping, there's nothing, no activities for that energy to be utilized. So everything whatever getting absorbed into the bloodstream will be deposited in your body, so you will gain your weight. So if it is so, then if you can't change your lifestyle, for example in my case it is the other way around. We have a shift basis duty, so we are off at 1:30. So once I come home, I sleep. As I am going to sleep, for daytime, for the lunch, I eat very small amount and it does not contain any sweets, because I know after 4 hours, once it gets absorbed, I am sleeping and that will be deposited, so that I eat only a very small amount. But at night, I am up till about 2 a.m., 3 a.m. I am up. So I eat usually by 9 p.m. So by the time it will get absorbed around 1 a.m., I am up and about. So whatever the glucose absorbed into the blood will be utilized for the energy. So during the night time, I eat even ice cream. So even after eating ice cream, I have lost my weight, because earlier I had a big tummy. So with using all these methods only, because with our busy life we have practically no time to do the exercises. So without even exercises, only with the limitation of the intake from food, I have lost my weight. So it actually can be done, and I have done it without going into the extremities such as fasting or ketogenic diet or carnivore diet or whatever it is. So this is normal, whatever you are eating, you can eat, but you can lose your weight if you are conscious enough for this matter. But the intake from the food should be lesser than whatever the wasting. And so if you are up in the daytime, you can have actually for the lunch some ice cream or something like that. As far as you are up after 4 hours of the food, for it to get used for as the energy. The second factor is that amount of food that you eat, because if you eat huge amount of rice, ultimately it will be end up, rice is the carbohydrate, so it will be end up with glucose, because it will be carbohydrates will be absorbed into the bloodstream as glucose. So your glucose level goes up massively. So you should know to cut down your amount of carbohydrates to minimize that. Then, but the problem is if you are used to a huge amount of rice or whatever any other carbohydrates, then you will feel hungry. So how to do that to reduce your amount? So you can serve whatever the normal amount and reduce a spoon of rice for 1 week. For that, whatever the lesser amount, you can serve some more greenish color vegetables, which does not contain much sugar, like beetroots or potatoes or something like. So for the second week, you carry on 1 week like that. From the second week onwards, you reduce 2 spoons of rice, but you add some greenish color vegetables for that, so that you won't feel hungry. Likewise, every week you start reducing by 1 spoon of rice and adding greenish color vegetables instead of that. And by adding greenish color vegetables, it has fibers. Those fibers will help you to digest the food over hours of time, so that your blood glucose will not be shoot up at once. And also, it will help you to pass motions easily without any constipation. And that is the method of reducing the amount of food, rice that you are taking in, because if you are used to a very high amount, otherwise you will feel hungry. So this is the method how you can do it. The other one is the consistency of the food. The food, if it is carbohydrates, it will take few hours to get absorbed. But if you eat ice cream or sugary things, any chocolates or cakes, then your sugar levels immediately will shoot up, because those will get absorbed into the bloodstream immediately. So immediate shoot up will be noticed in your bloodstream, the glucose level. If you are a normal healthy person and you are insulin sensitive, then it may not be a problem for you. But if your insulin is resistant and if your secretion of the insulin from the pancreas is impaired, then the pancreas has to produce more and more and more insulin to bring this down. So it will be an adverse impact on the pancreas. So on the long run, the pancreas will start working poorly and responding poorly for the high glucose level. Then that is the time you develop diabetes. So the consistency of the food is very important. The next thing is when you are going to reduce the amount, and then you may feel hungry, but you are adding vegetables for that. And also the other way to reduce your amount is, don't eat until you are full. Before that you stop eating, then you feel hungry, and then you drink 1 or 2 glasses of water, and you will be full with the water. So the water doesn't contain much calories, so that it doesn't affect your weight gain. But you are full and you don't feel hungry also, and your intake is also at the same time reduced. So that it's a very good method for you to apply if you really want to lose your weight. And you have to minimize the number of times that you eat for a day. If you can limit it to the 3 major meals, that would be the best. Because a lot of people, they are used to have in between the meals, they are used to have some sort of other small thing, cakes or any nuts or something like that. So in all the time, whenever you eat something, when your blood glucose goes up, the pancreas has to start producing insulin. So throughout your daytime seems to be the pancreas is working by producing insulin to keep the blood glucose normal. You know, machine also, even the machine can't run throughout, so it also needs some rest. Just like that, if your pancreas is going to work throughout like that, then in the near future it is going to fail. And when it is going to fail, your production of the insulin will be low, then you will develop diabetes. And between meals, the other fact is that in between meals, better not to eat anything, because once you eat something and then once it reaches up to the next big meal, major meal, then your glucose level is getting down and down. Then what happens is that your body will absorb from the glycogen or fat deposits to keep the glucose level high in the blood. In that way you can lose your weight. But in between, if you are eating something, then from those food the calories absorb into the blood, so that whatever the deposited ones are not being utilized to produce energy. So you will never lose your weight if you have a habit of eating between meals. And the morning, if you can delay the meal, because now at night time when you go to bed till the morning, if it is 8-9 hours, that's a very good time for you, for your body to allow to utilize whatever the deposited, either glycogen or fats, as energy. So once you get up in the morning, if you don't drink anything, tea or coffee or anything with added sugar, or you can have some even without sugar, of course you can have that, and instead you can have some water, and you can, as much as possible, delay the time that you are going to have the breakfast. As much as you can delay the gap between the night meal and the morning breakfast, the body utilizes whatever the deposited ones, either glycogen or fat, to make energy. So in that way you are losing your weight automatically without any additional fasting, because anyhow throughout the night you are sleeping. This is just prolonging 1 or 2 hours before having your breakfast. It's not a big deal actually, rather than specifically fasting. And the other factor is that now, even I mentioned the 3 major meals, but if you don't feel hungry, just because you have to eat 3 meals, major meals, is not a compulsory thing. You have to eat if you are hungry only. So if you do not feel hunger, don't eat, because if your sugar levels are low in the blood, then you will feel the hunger. If you don't feel, that means sugar levels in your blood is more than adequate. So as much as possible, if you do not have the feeling of eating, don't eat. Just skip that meal. And also, just don't eat just because you get some treat free of charge. Now, for example, patients, when they get discharged, they are very happy, so that they used to bring some cakes for us. So, but we never eat them, because we know that in between meals, if you are going to eat cakes all the time, and also cakes are sugary item, so consistency of food, if you take matter, it will shoot up your sugars drastically. So it is very bad for you to reduce your weight if you have the intention of doing so. So it's always better, just because you get it free of charge, don't eat, skip that day. So all these facts 1 to 9 will help you to limit your intake from the food. And the next item is encourage your wasting of energy. So you can do that by doing exercises. But exercises, you don't have to do very heavy exercises, just aerobic exercises. That means in between the exercises, you can complete the sentence. You don't have to stop and then take a breath in and then complete the rest of the sentence. If you can complete, those are aerobic. So your oxygenation level is adequate while doing that exercise. Such as brisk walk is just adequate. But the timing, now they have proven after doing some research work, the timing matters after the meal, when you are going to start the exercise. So they have proven now, rather than, actually it is 30 minutes after the meal, start doing the exercise, because after the meal, your blood sugar start going up somewhere around after 45 minutes. So it's better for you to start doing the exercises after 30 minutes and continue it for 30 minutes. Then whatever the, after 45 minutes, whatever you are getting absorbed into the bloodstream will be utilized for your exercise, and the curve is very flattening rather than the heavy spikes absorbing glucose into the blood. So this will, all these factors will help you to stop gaining weight. Actually, I myself personally have lost my weight only by doing minimizing the intake from food from 1 to 9, because though we tell the patients to do the exercises, we ourselves we do not have much time to do exercises. So with only limiting from this food, I have lost my weight, because the earlier I had a tummy, big tummy. Nurses used to ask now when they see me whether I have delivered my baby. So it was, the tummy was that much big, but I have lost all that only by limiting the intake of the food, only applying these 9 items to my lifestyle. It's better for you to do the exercises as well if you have the time. So I hope this may have helped you to adjust your lifestyle and in the future to lose your weight. So, and in my next video, I am going to bring you regarding type 2 diabetes, because now we have come to know that the type 2 diabetes can be cured. So earlier we used to say it cannot be cured, it can be controlled only, but the latest theory is it can be cured. So I will bring that lecture in my next video. If you want to watch that, press the subscribe button so that you will be notified once I publish that. If this information was important for you, press the like button as well. So till that time, thank you for watching. Goodbye.